Kevin Hester, you are ridiculous.
The Bears are who we thought they were. And that's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
Shut up. See that? That's your IQ, buddy. 0.
Hungry Chicago, finally champions on this January day in New Orleans.
This is the Barely Qualified Podcast with your hosts, Nick Labris, Jason Maxwell, and Drew Bailey.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Barely Qualified. I'm Jason Maxwell. With me, as always, are Drew Bailey and Nick Labris. We have a pretty exciting Week 12 matchup to break down on today's show. The NFC North leading Chicago Bears play host to the AFC North leading Pittsburgh Steelers this week. The big storyline, of course, Aaron Rodgers back in Soldier Field for one last rodeo. So on today's show, we're going to dive into all things Bears, as we always do, preview their Week 12 matchup with the Steelers, talk some fantasy football, and, of course, hit on our bets of the week. So before we dive into the Bears preview, I wanted to talk to you about our friends over at Glen Rock Pop. Barely Qualified is proudly fueled by the fizz of Glen Rock Pop, Lake County's legendary soda revival. Crafted with pure cane sugar, poured into classic glass bottles and bursting with nostalgic flavor, Glen Rock is more than a drink. It's a hometown icon. Whether you're sipping on orange, cream soda, or Nick's personal favorite and MVP, the all-new lime, Glen Rock is bringing the joy back to every corner of Lake County. Want to catch their pop-up trailer in action? Well, follow Glen Rock Pop on Facebook for the latest event stops. Ready to stock up? Of course you are. Head to glenrockpop.com to find retailers near you. From tailgates to game days, Glen Rock Pop is the ultimate sideline sip. Don't just drink, celebrate. Drew, Nick, we're back in it. Nate Dogg's kicking it. He's had his first Bears taste of a Bears win. Let's take a preview for the Bears Steelers here. Nick, you want to kind of take us around the horn, do your thing?
Yeah, let's do it. All right, so to start with, as always, we got the Steelers coming to town to face off against our Bears at noon on Sunday in Chicago. Bears repeating every time. Love a noon game, love a Chicago game. It's like right in the sweet spot, so very happy to see that. Bears are favored in this game again. We'll probably talk about this a little bit more, but this will probably be one of the last games the Bears are favored in going into the week. You got that Browns game circled in a couple weeks, but besides that, probably looking at a lot of dogs for the Bears coming up the rest of the way. So Bears are minus 2.5 right as it stands right now. They opened at 3. They're at 2.5 now. Over under set at 45.5 with the Bears minus 140 money line for all of our betting enthusiasts out there. So, I mean, when thinking about storylines for this game, I think it's impossible to talk about this without talking about the elephant in the room. The bad man is back in town.
Bad man.
Aaron Rodgers has got a fracture in his left wrist, and he is going to just be all Percocetted out of his mind and have that Southern accent that we all love to hear when he's got that Southern twang. I am going to be completely honest with you guys. Seeing that man on the quarterback position across the field, it's very, very afraid. Very, very afraid. It's like a dog looking at a rolled up newspaper. I'm very afraid. So I don't know. Let's go around is this something that I am being, obviously the history is what I'm talking about, but is this a reasonable take for, 2025 Steelers version of Aaron Rodgers? Drew, what do you think?
Yeah, it's a very rightful mindset to have, Nick, because it doesn't matter who this guy plays for. He seems that the Bears get him excited to play football, and that's the worst type of Aaron Rodgers you want to have. I think that he definitely is on his last legs, literally, and if he plays, that'll be interesting to see how effective he actually is, but it's Aaron Rodgers regardless, and he's haunted our dreams as Bears fans for multi-decades. So it's rightful to just be afraid of that, especially with how delicate of a season right now. Our season kind of hangs in the balance. So like this could set off anything, or it could rocket ship us into the atmosphere that you want to be. So
Yeah, I agree. Jay, I mean, am I too scared? Do you want Rodgers to play? Like, where are you at with the Rodgers situation?
See, I feel like it can kind of go two ways. It's like, all right, Rodgers seems gettable. He's a little bit older. Let's just put a nail in the coffin. Let's get some, whatever you want to call it, not revenge, but just a little bit of satisfaction of an opportunity to beat Aaron Rodgers. And that makes sense. I don't want that. I want us to play against Mason Rudolph. I want easy wins or easy wins, right? I want the wins to be more probable. And I feel like that's a Mason Rudolph situation rather than an Aaron Rodgers one. So you could call me a coward. I'll take the low road and just give me the easiest path to a W. Give me the easiest path to 8-3 and increasing our playoff chances, because it's kind of a fun ride. That's my take on it.
Yeah, I think that's whether people are going to kind of try and, be I don't know what the word is I'm trying to say, but basically try and basically lie and say that they're not afraid of Aaron Rodgers this week. I think deep down, every single person, we're up front about it, but I think a lot of people even deep down are like, I don't want to see that man play. I'd rather see, if the Bears are going to lose this game, I would rather see Mason Rudolph be the quarterback of a loss. I don't want to see Aaron Rodgers beat the Bears again. I don't want to have another I own you clip going out there. Those are the things that just make me shudder into the fetal position at night. So I don't want to I don't want that to happen. But I don't know. We'll see. Do you guys? I don't know. I kind of am wrestling with this myself too. Do you guys think that a win or even a resounding win, does this kind of give you some kind of closure, satisfaction? Because Aaron Rodgers has been the man that has tortured us for close to 20 years. But I mean, he's a Steeler now. It's not the same to me. And also I don't know, they're just, the Steelers are not the explosive offense the Packers always were with him. So it just sucks because I feel Bears are favored in this game. Things are either good. It's like fighting the smallest guy in school. Nothing good is going to happen. You know what I mean? You're either going to beat him and you're going to be like, oh, cool, you did what you were supposed to do, or you're going to lose and everyone's going to make fun of you forever. And really not win situation. So I don't know. Do you guys is there any closure? Do you guys feel any sense of winning this game would give you closure, Jay?
No, not really. You put it really well. It's Aaron Rodgers is kind of a shell of himself at this point. And it's not, he did what he did. And in the prime, he was untouchable. He was truly our kryptonite, and it was brutal. And getting a W against a 41-year-old, it's all right, go to the retirement home, grandpa. Let's move this along. It doesn't feel it would. And again, we're assuming that we're even going to win the game, and I think that's a leap in and of itself. But if the gods be good, the Bears are able to win the game, and it is against Aaron Rodgers, I don't think that would give me any kind of closure. We got you. It's you should be out of the league probably at this point. And honestly, I don't even know if Aaron Rodgers gives them more of a chance to win the game than if Mason Rudolph's playing at this point, to be honest with you.
I think this week he does. I think usually no,
True.
But I think he gets up for this game. But
Bears.
Drew,
that's fair.
Drew, does a win give you any kind of closure, or any kind of, does it take back any of the bad feelings you have towards this man?
The only way that it gives me some sixth sense of satisfaction is if they retire the guy. If they straight up retire, if he gets another Achilles injury or he gets another really bad injury and he's just done, that gives me some sense of closure because it closed the guy's career. But I don't wish bad on human beings, but Aaron Rodgers is not a human being. Yeah, he's not a real person anyway. So I can say that, hey, I'm fine with that. So that would be the only sense of closure that I would take from this game. Otherwise, it's going to be just a no, because he beat up on us for so long. I just get it out of the way. Stop I don't want the storyline to be I'm sure the graphics will come up many a times during this game of Aaron Rodgers' record against the Bears. He's dominated them through his career with the Packers, everything like that. So, like, I want to move on with that as quick as possible.
Yeah. Well, this is not going to be a primetime game for those stats to be seen by everyone in the United States and across the world. But you're so right. And I'm also very glad that you said what you said about wanting the Bears to just take Rodgers out to pasture. I mean, basically between the lines, like let's injure the guy. Let's put him out. I was too much of a coward to say it, but in my heart of hearts, that's exactly what I'm hoping for too.
Along those lines, I did see a funny thing on Reddit today. I saw it was somebody posted a graphic that said the Bears have signed Corey Wooten to a 1-week contract. And for those that don't remember, Corey Wooten is the man who concussed Brett Favre in his last season with the Vikings and ended his career. So that's what they were referencing. It took me a second to figure that out. I'm like, Corey Wooten, he can't be in the league anymore. And then I'm like, oh, it's a joke. Yes, it's not. He hasn't been in the league in 20 years. But anyway, so I thought that was funny. And also just to prepare Bears fans for the things they're going to see on Sunday on the screen, I have compiled a list of Aaron Rodgers' career statistics against the Bears. I'm going to read off to you guys really quick. Boy. So Aaron Rodgers' career against the Bears, 29 games. Do you guys have any idea how many wins he has in 29 games? Just a guess.
22.
24.
It's 24. 24 and 5. 24 and 5, which is an 83% winning percentage. He threw for just short of 7,000 yards in those 29 games. It's 69-65, which is about 240 a game, which is honestly lower than I thought it was going to be. But he also has 64 touchdowns and 10 interceptions in those 29 games, which is a 109 quarterback rating. I took it a step further and just twisted the knife a little bit on myself. If Aaron Rodgers' statistics only against Bears, so if he took only his statistics against the Bears in his career, he would rank 10th in Bears history in passing yards and 5th in Bears history in touchdown passes. So just get prepared to see these things because it's going to happen.
Oh, God.
We can laugh about it now, but if the Steelers are beating the Bears and that stuff comes up, I'm going to be throwing things at the TV. I can promise you that.
Wait, so how many total passing yards did he have in the 29?
6,965. So just short of 7,000. It's about 240 a game, which, like I said, is a little bit lower than I thought the average would be. But those are probably just games that
he's out. In the
whoever their running back had like 200 yards and 3 touchdowns or whatever. So, anyway, that's a little fun statistical thing for you guys. I do want to say, Drew, you mentioned Aaron Rodgers not being a real person. Mm-hmm. I kind of want to pivot this into something else. This isn't just going to be the Trash Aaron Rodgers episode, but give us our chance to do this. This is the first time we've played Aaron Rodgers as a podcast.
True.
Because we didn't play him last year. He was on the Jets. So this is the first time we have a chance to see him. So we're going to take our time and really kind of go in it for a minute. So, Drew, you mentioned Aaron Rodgers is not a real person when you referencing, you don't feel bad for wishing harm on real people. Is Aaron Rodgers' wife a real person? It's kind of weird, right?
This is one of my favorite storylines. It's totally like the high school. My girlfriend goes to another school.
Yeah, I met her at camp. She lives in Canada. Yeah,
yeah. Or I've done that before. Fake.
Who's the Notre Dame linebacker? Manti Te'o. Yeah, Manti Te'o's girlfriend. Oh God.
Yeah. Anyway, just a couple of notes. Says he got married in 2025 to someone named Brittany, who no one has ever met. Never seen a picture with the two of them. It's just weird. I mean, whatever, Aaron Rodgers has always been kind of a secretive guy. It's just a weird thing. He's a weird guy.
He's a weird guy.
Would it surprise you in the slightest bit if some like Manti Te'o style story came out that Aaron Rodgers completely fabricated his entire marriage?
Either that or it's mail order.
I am convinced that this person doesn't exist.
Yeah. I agree with you.
And there's no way someone as famous as Aaron Rodgers has the possibility of having like the tabloids not find anything about this person. Just not how the world works.
Unless they got married by his shaman in some hut in Brazil or something.
Yeah.
It was a dark room, all black. Didn't even see her. Didn't know who it was. He was marrying the wall.
He was marrying the wall. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe that's it. Maybe he just went on some ayahuasca trip and got married in his mind and it just never happened.
It could be.
Who knows?
The-
Weird.
That would have been a perfect, had we known about this, that would have been a perfect fantasy football name. Aaron Rodgers' wife, Brittany. Just
Yeah.
Brittany.
And of course, he spells it weird too. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. That just seems like such a like it's Brittani, which, I mean, it just seems like it's got Aaron Rodgers' fingerprints all over it. So
Jay's favorite line, it's Brittany, bitch.
that's right.
It's Brittany, bitch. Michael Scott.
Oh man. All right. So we're gonna move off of Aaron Rodgers for a little bit, just because this man's gonna hurt us again. I can already feel it. So let's just get off of that. One thing I want to talk to you guys about, Drew and I touched on this a little bit on the recap show. Jay, we talked about it a little bit last week about how Bears had a chance to get to double their playoff chances essentially with a win last week, and they did. So as of right now, according to a different model that I was looking at, the Eagles currently sitting at 8-2 have a 99% chance of making the playoffs. The Rams, also sitting at 8-2, have a 99% chance of making the playoffs. Buccaneers, who are a game behind the Bears, 6-4, have an 85% chance of making the playoffs. Seahawks, who are in the 5th seed of the playoffs right now, have a 91% chance of making the playoffs. Packers, it's 6th seed or 73%, and the 49ers, the last seed in the NFC, 85% chance of making the playoffs. Your Chicago Bears, number 3 seed in the playoffs, if they started today, have the lowest percentage of all the teams at 59%. They don't even touch 70% if they win this week. People don't believe in the Bears. And again, I don't really blame them, because nothing the Bears have done this year has really, like, I don't know, in my opinion, nothing the Bears have done have been like, this team's a playoff team. You know, like, I don't know, Drew, do you think that this team is a sure thing playoff team right now?
I mean, the way that they're playing football and winning games, that's what a playoff team does. They win games when they have to win games. So I have been watching all this week because the topics all often fall towards successful teams right now that might be fraudulent. I've been watching a lot of places just talk about the Bears and say, are the Bears real? And so many journalists are saying, absolutely not, they're not. But you don't get to 7-3 without having some successful portions of your team and standing out in, like, you're number 1 in takeaways. You're number, I think, 5 in like defensive efficiency at some points, and your offense is averaging over 25 points a game. Or I think it's lower now; it's about 23.5. That is and somebody else pointed this out. That is a very semblance of what the Washington Commanders did last year. They kind of made their way into the playoffs. They beat a lot of not successful teams to get into there, and they rode that wave into getting to the NFC Championship. So the way that the Bears are playing football right now, and playing one facet really well and another facet semi okay, but maybe failing in some way. I think that's what playoff teams do. Like they haven't had a lot of complete failures in all facets in a game other than earlier this season. So it seems like the ship has been somewhat righted, and you lead from the top, which is our coaching, and that's where I think we're strongest right now. So are we a playoff team? Yes, our back end of our schedule is very heavy, but right now, yeah, we're number 3 seed, and playing a team like this to get to potentially 8-3 only lightens up the load the rest of the way against some heavy teams where you only have to, like we were talking about, Nick, in the review, you only have to win maybe 2 of those games to get into the playoffs. So I don't think it's as much to ask on this team.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good take. I mean, I don't know. The Bears, it's hard because they have had an easy schedule. I will say this, and Jay, I'll kick it to you in a second. But before that, the Bears, if they win this week, go to 8-3. All of a sudden, your Black Friday game in Philadelphia, that might be for the 1 seed, like legit straight up. That might be for the 1 seed, because the Rams, The Rams are hosting. The Rams are playing the Bucks this week, which is not a for sure win. And then I think they have a tough game next week too. I just had it look at their schedule. They have the Bucks this. Oh no, they're at Carolina next week, so that's not a tough game. But they do have the Bucks this week. So the Rams lose to the Bucks and the Bears win the Steelers next week against the Eagles on Black Friday. National television is for the 1 seed in Week 13. Not to jump ahead, obviously, no sure wins. Like we just talked about how Aaron Rodgers has had a history of killing us, but it's interesting. The Bears are not getting a lot of respect, but they're literally like 2 wins away from like taking the 1 seed in Week 13. So it's just wild. Jay, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Drew. Like, is this disrespect, or are the Bears not quite a playoff team in your mind? They still have more to prove.
I think it's a fair percentage, honestly. You look at it; it's kind of, in my mind, I think there's 8 teams vying for 7 spots in the NFC. And the one team, if the season ended today, that's not in the playoffs is the Detroit Lions. I think that's what that number kind of factors in, right? Is when the Lions on paper should probably be getting into the playoffs. And you look, the Bucks, they should be winning the South, even though, like you said, that's going to be a tough matchup for them against the Rams. But the Seahawks, the Packers, the 49ers, like, are the Bears, better than those teams? Maybe not, but the wins are stacking up, and that's fun. So we should have fun with that. We should be able to say, like, listen, Nick, you're spot on. You string 2 wins in a row together, you're looking at the 1 seed in the entire NFC. So it's not out of the realm. The ball can kind of, land how it lands, and maybe we get a little bit lucky and steal one against the Eagles. Let's take care of business against the Packers. I think that line is relevant at 2.5, not knowing if Rodgers is going to play or not. It's going to be a tough game against the Steelers. Yeah. But it seems like luck and things are just stacking up for the Bears. So, like, let's enjoy the ride and let's just get wins. I'm going to be fanning out for the rest of the season, right? And what I wrote down too is, like, I'm attacking the rest of the season as a fan with like a euphoric type of realism, right? Maybe we're not the best team, but wins are the only thing that matters. You don't have to be the best team to get into the playoffs. You don't have to be the best team to have fun with the season. We deserve that. Let's have some fun. Let's keep the wins stacking up and let the chips fall where they will.
Yeah, euphoric optimism, I think, is I love that. That was great. And or euphoric realist, I should say. Sorry. I do like that. And also, like, I think that, look, I have been saying for a while, I don't think the Bears are I think the Bears record is probably better than the Bears are as a team, like talent-wise and everything. But I'm not going to apologize for being excited about my team being 7-3. I'm not going to apologize for being excited that my team is in first place in a division that they have been getting owned in for the last 10 years. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, like, the whole point of being a fan is, like, when good things happen, especially when you're a bad team, a bad franchise, when good things happen, be excited about it.
Yeah.
You don't need to sit there and be like, oh man, this is all going to fall apart someday. That might happen, but just enjoy
it hasn't yet.
Right. No, I'm just saying, like, it could happen, but, like, there's no point in worrying about something that might happen, right? Enjoy what's happening.
Bingo.
Bears are 7-3. Let's go out there. Let's beat the Steelers this week. We beat the Steelers this week. All of a sudden, even if the Bears don't beat the Steelers, next week against the Eagles is a huge game. But if the Bears beat the Steelers, next week against the Eagles is a massive, massive game with huge playoff implications, which is crazy to say. And it's awesome, and enjoy it. So that's all I got to say about the playoff stuff, I guess.
The last thing I just want to say about the playoffs is you get there, you scratch, you claw. Everyone's, other than seeding, everyone's 0-0 in the playoffs. You got there. So that's essentially, like Jay was saying, you scratch, claw every week just to get there for the next 5 to 7 weeks. And once you're there, like, no one can take that away from you. You can say everything to, oh, do the Bears deserve it? Oh, did they play a fluke schedule? Who cares? You got there, and you can't take that away. So,
and you know what else is fun too, from the, like, statistical point of view, and you were bringing up some stats that kind of justify, hey, the Bears aren't maybe as bad as people think. It's like they have top 4 offense in yards per game in the NFL. That's meaningful. Like, they're moving the ball. They can improve upon their red zone touchdown efficiency. And, like, those aren't things that are out of the realm of possibility to continue improving. Mm-hmm. So, they're not dead. They're not a terrible team. No team's going to be terrible that's 7-3. Is it weird that the Panthers are 6-5? Yeah, that's weird. They're not that great of a football team either, but they've got 6 wins, and that's the NFL.
Yeah, that's well said. And Drew, I'm really glad you brought up the Commanders from last season because this team, this season does kind of feel like the Commanders last. Like they did, they stayed healthy. They won some close games and they made it to the playoffs. And people probably didn't think they deserved to be in the playoffs. And guess what they did? They rattled off a couple wins and they went to the NFC Championship game. Once you get in the tournament, anything can happen. That's like all sports. I mean, football is probably less like that than other sports, but at the end of the day, like if the Commanders, a 7 or a 6 seed last year, could go to the NFC Championship game and beat the Lions in Detroit, like I don't know, it's definitely not crazy. So, yeah, I think Jay, I agree with you. 59% feels about right, better than half. I'll take that. Week 11. So, all right. So if we're gonna go back to the Steelers for a little bit, just talk about the Steelers overall, not necessarily Aaron Rodgers so much. Steelers right now are 6-4, leading the AFC North. Speaking of disrespect, everyone in the world has the Ravens still winning this division, even though the Steelers have been winning this division all season, which is hilarious. I think I'm in that camp, though. I don't think the Steelers are going to win the AFC North this year. But as of right now, 6-4, leading the AFC North. They are bottom 5 in both total offense and total defensive yards. So you got to wonder, how are they winning these games? It's almost impossible to fathom a bad, but I don't know. It's why I don't really watch a lot of Steelers games. I didn't realize they were bottom 5 in both offensive and defensive yards. That's insane.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hopefully Caleb in the offense can eat this week. That's the hope. It's, TJ Watt's having a normal-ish season too. So a lot of those guys that show up for the Steelers aren't doing Steelers typical stuff.
Yeah, TJ Watt, 6 sacks on the year through 10 games. That's those are fine numbers for a starting defensive end, but TJ Watt is on par with your Myles Garrett's, supposedly. Myles Garrett just became the first player in NFL history to have 6 straight 12-sack seasons or whatever, which is insane. Yeah. And TJ Watt has 6 this year, which is, it's still fine. I think, how many does Montez have this year?
5.5.
5.5. So it's all right. I don't know. It's not great. So TJ Watt, I don't know. I think the offensive line can handle him, which is crazy to say because I definitely saw the schedule when it first came out and I'm like, well, Bears gonna have 13 sacks in this. TJ Watt's gonna have 13 sacks in this game.
He still might.
He still might. But so this is going to be kind of an interesting matchup though because Steelers bottom 5 in offense and defense. Bears are 7-3, like we just talked about. They do have a negative -6 point differential, which Jay, we talked about this last week. This is all because of the 30-point drubbing by the Lions in week 2. You take that away, Bears are right in the middle of the pack, but you can't take them away because that's how stats work. So let's win this game by 7. Let's get that positive. Let's get that point differential positive. But yeah, it's just a weird thing, Bears and Steelers both winning their divisions, and they're both not statistically very good teams, in some aspects. Weird. It's just weird, but we'll see.
Modern NFL. It's just, strength of schedule flips like that,
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, Jay, you have written down here, why am I not scared at all of this team? I think, honestly, your second bullet point here of them being bottom 5 in offense and defensive yards is probably a leading factor in that. But I kind of agree with you. Outside of Aaron Rodgers, who, again, scares me to no end, this team does not scare me at all. DK Metcalf, he's a good player. Jaylen Warren, excuse me. I don't think, is he going to play this week? I think he's
questionable.
Yeah, so he might play. All right. But anyway, even that, nothing really there scares you. I don't know. Drew,
Aaron Rodgers doesn't scare me anymore.
He still scares me.
He's gonna scare you no matter what, just because the name and the person of what we've seen him be. But I mean, their receiving core doesn't scare me. DK is gonna DK. He's seemingly not been on the wavelength with Rodgers all the time or targeted. Granted, he's been targeted 62 times, 37 receptions out of 62 targets. I think that's wild. But you don't have another wide receiver on that team that's caught over 300 yards. Next closest is Freiermuth at 279. And Jaylen Warren, a small back. Yes, he can find gaps, but he's not a world beater. He's not going to get 20-ish carries a game that's going to carry you to a win. So like you guys have been saying, the offense doesn't scare me that much. The defense has been somewhat suspect. I feel like it's been a 50-50 flip of the coin with Pittsburgh. But it feels like another one of those weird games that we've been having lately of like, okay, yeah, you're favored or you should potentially beat this team, but I still feel very weird about being favored in games with how we've been playing them, and anything could flip at a moment's notice if we take it down to a 1-score game at any time. So this is one of those that it's like, if you are really wanting to set a tone for a season, this more than any other, I know we've been saying it, this would be a perfect time to just step on a team's throat, mash them into the ground, and make a statement to all the people that are saying the Bears aren't real. Then they can say, okay, well, we should take them into consideration now.
Yeah, my fear is this has all the makings of one of those ugly games where everyone just looks bad, and whoever wins kind of just wins. You know what I mean? And I'd love to see that too. Like it would be fun to have the Bears show up and click on all cylinders and win comfortably by 2 scores. But I put this in the same camp as, the show we had last week previewing the Vikings. Just win no matter what, and I'll be a happy guy, even if it's ugly. And it was ugly against the Vikings, but we got the win, and we stacked up another win in the win column, and that's all that really matters. So I'm cool with that. Listen, Caleb can go, 50% and throw for 169 yards and throw for 0 touchdowns, but the Bears get a W. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I think we're at the point of the schedule now where I don't care about style points.
Yeah.
If the Bears can win a blowout or 2, awesome. I'm certainly going to be happy about that. But I'm not going to be, I just said it would be cool if the Bears won by 7 points to get that point differential up. That's really just, again, kind of the same reason I want to see Caleb throw 4,000 yards. I just want to see that number look good. But I don't really care if the Bears win by 1 or whatever. I just want to see football games being won. So yeah, I agree with you 100%. Let's just get a win. Let's survive in advance, as they say, even though this isn't a tournament that you get eliminated, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's just keep the momentum going. So I don't know. Let's talk some keys to the game. All right, Jay, I'm gonna kick it over to you first. What do you got as your keys to the game in this one for the Bears to come out victorious?
Yeah, I think it's keeping Caleb upright and kind of limiting the damage that TJ Watt can do. I don't think that there's a lot on the Steelers side on the defensive line outside of TJ Watt that is huge cause for concern. Mm-hmm. And we'll see where TJ Watt lines up. If they're going to be having him stacked over Theo Benedict, that makes me a little bit concerned. But just neutralizing TJ Watt, keeping Caleb upright, and seeing if they can make either Aaron Rodgers or Mason Rudolph uncomfortable in the pocket. Neither one of those guys is ultimately very mobile, and so just getting some baseline pressure would be excellent. And these are pretty vanilla statements that I'm making, but win the turnover battle, et cetera, et cetera. So the usual. But I think there is a lot. TJ Watt, his kind of propensity and history of strip sack fumbles, right? That's how you lose the game, in my opinion, is not uneventful, but poorly timed turnovers, right? And Caleb holding on to the ball a little bit too long, and then that thing getting pop loose is a real fear in this game, especially when you're got TJ Watt, who's the best in the business at doing it.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Drew, what do you got for keys to the game?
Big key to the game is something that we've been doing so poorly lately that, and I think it fits along the lines of, I agree with Jay of this being probably one of those sloppier games on all facets between defense, offense, maybe a little bit lower scoring, is you got to make the most of your opportunities and score touchdowns. This is a team that certainly I mean, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers under Mike Tomlin. They seemingly are never out of a game. So if you're kicking field goals, you're not going to give them any worry that they can come back into a football game. So when you have your opportunities, you need to get down and you need to convert on third down and convert in the red zone big time. Otherwise, you're just leaving the door open for a team, a winning football team, which the Pittsburgh Steelers are. So if you can't convert on your red zone opportunities, this is going to be a potential long day and another stretched out game where the middle of the game feels very, very, very dry, and you're waiting for the fourth quarter to come out, and it could be a flip of a coin either way. So if you can make the most of your red zone opportunities and your third down conversions early on in the game and in that middle second and third quarter, I think this is a very winnable game to put a team down that you probably should beat and are favored to beat.
Yeah, no, I think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I mean, honestly, my keys to the game are kind of the same as always. It's going to be stay in front of the sticks, right? Minimize penalties, minimize negative plays, stick to third and manageable, 3rd and 5 or less, convert third downs, finish drives with touchdowns. And then on defense, just, I mean, try and contain DK Metcalf. Don't let him get loose for big plays, make them sustain drives, and, just continue to have to go down the field. And I mean, your defense is opportunistic. Aaron Rodgers is a guy who doesn't turn the ball over very often. He's very careful with it, but he has thrown more interceptions this season than I feel like he usually does. Without looking at statistics, I feel like I've seen a lot more Aaron Rodgers picks this year, two interception games, which is uncharacteristic of him for his career. Be opportunistic, take advantage of any turnover opportunities when you have them. And then, yeah, just like I said, put the ball in the end zone on offense. That's the biggest thing. We talk about it every single Monday show. We're talking about how the Bears need to put the ball in the end zone more. Let's have a Monday show where we're talking about Bears were 4 for 4 in the red zone with touchdowns. Great game. Let's keep going.
I got one more key to the game too. And this is a guy that I feel like I see anytime I see the Steelers games on TV, whether it's red zone or I'm watching one of their games. Danny Smith, who is their special teams coach, older guy, he somehow always gets featured on one time during Pittsburgh Steelers game. So like your special teams for me here is just one of those, let's play. And it's been up and down all year with us. Like either it's very, very good or very, very bad. Sometimes good, sometimes shit. But I really think that like if you can just stay even keel in the special teams, then this is definitely a team where you can beat them in the other two facets. This again, like Jay was saying, has the makings of a sloppy game, and that's where special teams comes into play in those sloppy games. So stay even keel, don't give the ball away on special teams, make a play or two on special teams, and you'll be out on a good front with one facet at least.
Yeah, no, well said. All right, I want to pivot into the injury report for this week because I have a big question for you guys. Who's going to play linebacker for the Chicago Bears this week?
That's the question.
So, injury report this week, we got Tremaine Edmonds, apologies. He has not participated all week with a groin injury. TJ Edwards continues to miss practices with a hand and a hamstring injury, so he hasn't practiced all week. Noah Sewell, reserve linebacker, who has gotten a lot of playing time due to TJ Edwards' injury, he has not participated all week with an elbow injury. So, I hope you guys are ready to learn DeMarco Jackson and Amen Ogbonbenmiga.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Maybe some of the rookie Ruben Hippolyte also might get some playing time. So I lead off with that. The linebacking core is going to be, I mean, it's depleted. You got your top 3 linebackers not in action this week, most likely. None of them have practiced all week, so that usually means they're not going to play. The good news, though, secondary gets some reinforcements,
Mhm.
possibly. I don't really know how the IR, if they've actually activated Kyler Gordon or Jalen Johnson yet. I still see like an asterisk on them with their, so I'm not 100% sure if they're activated, but they're practicing or Kyler Gordon had a limited practice. Jalen Johnson, full participant in practice today. So linebacking core goes way down, but you might get some of your secondary back. Also, on top of that, Tyreek Stevenson is also practicing this week. So you might get your top 3 corners back, which Drew, we talked about on Monday. If you can put like your Nashawn Wrights into like a depth position instead of being your starter, you're kind of in a good spot in your secondary because he's actually, he's flashed quite a bit this year with 4 picks. So the linebackers make me very nervous, but also, modern NFL, I mean, I don't want to take away from good linebackers because Tremaine Edmonds has been awesome this year. We know what TJ Edwards can be. But like a linebacker is sort of like the running back of the defense where it's sort of interchangeable. You don't necessarily need an all-pro linebacker to make your defense go. With that said, I'd rather have people I've heard of playing those positions. I don't know. Does the linebacking stuff make you guys nervous at all?
Yeah, a lot, right? I mean,
Yeah.
being out all 3 of your starters is not good. Luckily, I think that linebacker, for whatever reason, is probably the most replaceable position on the defense, but it's not a good thing to have all of them out.
And they're usually, obviously, your play callers. Not that you need a lot from your defensive, but if it's guys that haven't been playing with the ones and don't have the proper communication or know how other people cover or know their packages, it's going to be a messy game, especially against a veteran like Aaron Rodgers who can pick holes at any point. So yeah, if it turns into a running ball game, I have a very semi confidence that they can do something. But yeah, I also, just looking at the injury report and being so expansive, like I just have a feeling that the later on in the season that we're going to get a lot of limiteds, we're going to get a lot of DNPs, and we're going to see a lot of these guys pop up on Sunday playing the game at some point or another. Because you'd think if they were terribly injured, you'd send them to the IR at this point. You'd send most of these guys to the IR, but most of these guys have been on there for multiple weeks and they come out playing. So it does concern me that there is this amount of potential injured people, although our NIR rest is getting deeper every week. And I want to know how these guys are just getting away with, how do they keep getting away with, hey coach, need a rest. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, go ahead. Take the week off. Here you go.
Yeah.
Come back and play on Sunday. All good.
Yeah, I mean, one thing about the NIR rest guys is you can tell they're the guys who have like done it in the end. They're veterans who have done it in the league for a while. So that, we kind of made fun of, or not made fun of, but poked fun at who was it?
Joe
it
Tooney.
was it was Joe Tooney. Sorry, brain fart. Joe Tooney. But at the end of the day, again, he's been mauling people. Not worried about that. You saw it happen with Kevin Byard, who's been arguably your best defensive player all season. Grady Jarrett, maybe not so much, but he's also coming off some injury stuff, so give him a break. I'll tell you, I saw this injury report yesterday, and I saw that Jaquan Brisker and Kevin Byard were both not practicing as well as the entire linebacking core, and I was terrified. But I didn't realize Kevin Byard was doing it for rest. Jaquan Brisker was a full participant today, so he'll be fine. So yeah, the linebackers make you nervous. Secondary should be getting better. Offense relatively healthy. Theo Benedict's on here, which typically wouldn't probably matter a ton, but when you're going against TJ Watt, any kind of depth piece going in there to face him would make you nervous. We'll see. And one thing I wanted to mention, TJ Edwards has missed probably 5 straight games. Curious why he didn't go on IR. Seems weird that he's just sitting here not practicing all week and just like taking up a roster spot for the past 3, 4, maybe 5 weeks. So I'm not sure if he's just like really close and can't get over the hump or what's going on there, but it just seems weird that he's missed so much time and didn't go on IR.
Agreed.
So I don't know. All right. Well, I think that's it for Bears Steelers. You guys have anything else you want to add for Bears Steelers preview?
I think that's a no.
I think that's a no. All right.
I think that's a no.
Well, in that case, Jay, I'm going to kick it over to you. We're going to head to the fantasy corner.
Let's go to the fantasy corner. First, the fantasy corner is brought to us today by Chuck's Southern Comforts Buffet. So, hey, BQ Army, are you looking for your next great place to enjoy a Bears game with great food, drinks, and people? Well, look no further than Chuck's Southern Comforts Buffet on Cass, just off of I-55 in Darien. Chuck's has great food and drink specials for every day of the week and for Bears games especially. You can find a link to those and their menu in our descriptions, bios on our social as well. $3 PBRs, $5 Yingling pints, and more for their Sunday specials, with a wide open layout for bar patrons, including slots, seated dinner for guests, and even private event spaces. Chuck's has everything you need for your next outing. So get on down there and tell them that the BQ boys sent you, and maybe we'll even see you for a Bears game or two this year. So let's enter that fantasy and betting corner. We'll touch on the Guillotine League. Drew, it was your time. You've been chopped. My apologies. There's 7 of us left. Take us through it, Drew. Were you watching on Monday night and kind of going through it? What was the deal?
I was. Nick and I were talking about it, and I thought it was a foregone conclusion that I was going to be out. Had Trey Tucker. He's caught a touchdown, and we were kind of tracking it a little bit, but it seemed like it was insurmountable. I'm just pointing out that I think I probably this week had the worst, being the first week as a father, the worst dad brain mistake that I could have ever had. And if you guys didn't see this, like, I wanted to point it out because I shouldn't have lost. I had someone who I spent the last of my fab money on, Kenneth Walker III. Picked him up, and I was tinkering a little bit on Sunday, maybe shouldn't have. And I picked up Quentin Johnson and played him over Kenneth Walker III. Quentin Johnson had 0 catches, 2 targets, and a horrible game. And Kenneth Walker had 20 plus points, which would have put me through. But that was just one of those dad brain situations where you look at your team and you're like, I got to do something. Oh no, it's not a great matchup. Okay, put him in. Whoops. That's where we're at with this Guillotine League, which is crazy. Like, you make one slip up, one player doesn't perform, and you're going to be out. And yeah. Jay's our last member of this pod, so I'm going to kick it back to you. What are you looking for this week?
I'm just looking for some luck and some things to break the right way. There's only 7 teams left. And Drew, I think you had 1 or 2 things going on, so no one can really fault you for not, setting you set the lineup properly. Just what are you going to do? But yeah, I mean, with 7 teams to go, I'm on the chopping block officially. I am the projected low points total for this, week 12. But everyone that's left, I mean, it goes without saying, the talent pool, there's just so many good players on not a lot of teams anymore. So everyone's projected for 125 points or more. So we'll see what happens. I am down Drake London this week. He's doubtful to play. That's a big gun in my offense. So we'll see what happens. It'll be fun. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm out here soon, but hey, we made it this far, so anything's possible. Kevin Garnett, anything is possible. Just don't come in last, and then you move on, right? That's the name of the game. So we'll see how it goes.
Jay, I do see that you picked up Kenneth Walker III. Go ahead and play him. Go ahead and play him.
I put him in that.
Right in there.
I put him over DJ Moore this week. So Kenneth Walker, welcome to the squad. You're in the starting lineup immediately. We'll see what happens. Who are the Seahawks? The Seahawks got the Titans, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
So should be favorable. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. The big ones. I picked up Kenneth Walker. No one bid on him, so cool. Got him for $0. But Bijan Robinson went to Sam. James Cook went to Adam. James Cook's already paying dividends with the Thursday night game touchdown and over 100 yards rushing. So good scoop there. it's just, more. It must be nice to have money. I sure as heck don't, and we'll see what happens. So that's
Tell you
that.
what, having
the one
money is
thing
great. One thing
I
that sucks is going out with money in your pocket. That's
yeah, that makes sense.
I went out with like $260 in my pocket when I got eliminated, which
that's what I was thinking, Nick. That's the one thing I can take solace in is I spent dropped the load. I was going for it. I went for it all. There's looking at the teams that are left though, Jay, in your realm of highest fab money left, Mark Noth 225, and everybody else is in the hundreds or single digits, and a couple that have zero. So that's going to be interesting in the final 7 weeks here of like who's getting the how are you maneuvering the waiver priority if everybody's out of money to get some of these guys, and then who you're starting, because your rosters are going to be so deep at that point. You're going to be like, okay, I can't start this guy, or you're looking matchup probabilities and stuff like that. So that's
right. No,
it's going to be interesting in a couple, honestly soon, where there's going to be legitimate fantasy starters that are just not rostered.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy to see that.
No, 100%. I was Sam and Mark Noth and I were texting yesterday about how much we love the league, right? Because Sam and Mark are still around, and Sam was like, "Hey, Mark, you control the board, most fab money. It's your board to play." So it's a nice spot to be for Mark. It's only 7 teams to go. There's going to be 6 next week, and then if Mark's still around, he can buy whoever he wants. So yeah, pretty fun. We'll keep an eye on that. I think I don't know. I don't have a great feeling. I don't think I'm going to be around 1 or 2 more weeks because I don't have much going on, and Lamar's hurt and London's hurt, and even if London's not hurt, it's Kirk Cousins throwing him the ball. That could be a whole bunch of poop. So
don't love that.
I know.
Jay, you're carrying the pod, so let's get a little more positivity here. You're carrying the pod here. We can't have all this negativity and go out with 2/3 of the season, or not 2/3, 3/4 of the season left still. So you got this. You got this, man.
Yep. I'm playing for more than just me. I'm playing for us. So, we'll inspire the NFL players to show up. So, cool. That'll do it for the Guillotine League. At least the rundown for this week. We'll move over to the next fantasy corner, the fantasy pick'em. Week 11 turned out to not be great for anyone, really. Nick, you won, I think, by default there. Put up a whopping 45.34 points, and that's going to get it done in a week where Drew put up 42.82. I put up 34.6. This is my third time, and I've only picked 10 weeks. I know it's week 11, but I missed a week. This is the third time in 10 lineups that I've submitted that I've scored less than 35 points. So it's been a down year, to say the least. I'm chasing a lot of points. I have 509 on the season. Drew's got 647. Nick's got 663. Still a 2-dog race. Nothing really stood out as being good last week. I mean, Nick, you had Chase Brown, Drake London, DK, and Tua, and fine, and to put up 45. Me, all of my running backs got hurt. In fact, I actually stole Josh Jacobs and Jalen Warren from you in our draft, and you're welcome, because they promptly got hurt and did nothing. And then I picked Hurts and AJ Brown. They did nothing. So, back to the drawing board. Rough week. We'll let's right the ship a little bit. For week 12 picks, how about we do Drew, Nick, me, and I'll wrap it around, and we can start there.
Yeah, I mean, the talent pool for everybody is getting lessened by the weeks, just because obviously we can't pick the same players that we've picked before. So it kind of goes into you kind of have to have a steal of a player here or there, or pick your guy that you haven't picked yet, that's at the top of the leaderboard, and hope that he performs at least to his billing that he can. For me, that's where I'm going to start, and I'm going to start with Puka Nacua. It's Sunday night game against Tampa Bay. he's putting up just Puka Nacua numbers right now, and he's going to be targeted a certain amount with Matthew Stafford, who looks like the front runner of MVP. So got to go with that because I haven't yet, and hopefully it won't be something that bites me in the bum coming down the next couple of weeks, because he looks like he's going to be the last wide receiver one that I can possibly take.
Yeah, I mean, pretty sure pick, right? It's Puka. It's Puka or JSN at the top of the kind of wide receiver heap. So that's a pretty safe pick in my opinion.
Yeah, no, Puka's great. I mean, I of course played him the week he got hurt and only put up like 3.8 points, but I think that Puka is always a solid player. Every week he's played besides that, he's been a monster. He just catches so many passes. So great pick.
Mm-hmm. And if I was smart, I would have saw that both of you guys that didn't do a lot of research, that both of you guys had already picked him. So I could have
kept in your back pocket.
Waited on that, but you know what? Freak out, Whopper freak out.
Whopper freak out, get your guy.
Yeah.
Whopper freak out, get your guy. Nick, who are you gonna take?
So I'm gonna take a quarterback because I'm really high on this guy this week for many reasons, but number one being that I think he's playing a bad defense. I'm taking Drake May. Playing in Cincinnati against the Bengals this week. I love Drake May this week. I think he's going to put up big numbers. By the way, listen to PMT yesterday. Drake May's never thrown for 300 yards plus in a game. Can you believe that?
Wild.
Yeah,
wow.
Wild. So
that's
this
wild.
is the week. This is the week. It's going to happen.
Yeah. Against that Bengals defense, that sounds pretty ripe.
Yeah, Drake May feasts on bad defenses, and the Bengals are that for sure. So...
Ooh. Yeah, no, I like the pick. That was my 101 for quarterback. I was going to snag him. I love the pick. My 1 of 1 on the overall board is who I'm going to go with right here. And I'm going to take T. Higgins. Jamar Chase is suspended for the week. So the matchup against the Patriots might not be the greatest matchup for wide receivers, but with Jamar Chase out, I think he's the clear-cut wide receiver 1 for the Bengals this week. So I'm going to stock up there and try to get a little magic from my guy T. Higgins. I have him in a couple other leagues too, so really stacking the deck. Hopefully he doesn't disappoint.
Yeah.
But I'm going to stay in the same game with my second pick and kind of ride your coattails, Nick. The theme being playing against the Cincinnati defense. I'm going to take the running back Travion Henderson to hopefully carve it up against a really porous Cincinnati defense.
Yeah, love the pick. Any Patriots this week are, I feel, must starts. So, yeah, love it. And he has been, and again, it's very funny because I had him in a guillotine league all season. He was poo all season until the week I got eliminated, and he has been the best running back in the NFL the past 3 weeks. So,
Go figure.
Go figure. It rocks. All right. So I am going to take a guy who has already been mentioned on this show a few times. I'm going to take Kenneth Walker, running back for the Seattle Seahawks. Love the plus matchup against the Titans. The Titans are the worst team in the NFL. Seahawks should be winning this game from the jump, and I really like just running the ball with Kenneth Walker and have him just accumulate yards. So Kenneth Walker.
Wow.
I love that.
Oh, that's a great pick. But if
got him in
you guys are watching the game, watch that play. Was it third down when Josh Allen got sacked, or am I behind? No, it's the 4th down and 27.
Did they convert?
You'll see.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh man, I could really use a conversion. I'll tell you that much.
Well, you just got it.
All right. Champ. Okay.
Spoiler.
The great picks all around. I'm gonna go with a quick stack of Puka Nacua, and I'm going with Matthew Stafford.
I could have called that one.
Smart. Yep.
Yeah, that was going to be an easy call. I think the reason why I took Puka Nacua is because I thought Matthew Stafford would probably be there around for the stack. So going to take him. Where I'm going to go next is kind of a question mark, and I'm gonna kind of
scramble mode
a little bit, but it's actually going to land on sorry, Jay, if this was going to be, or sorry, Nick, if this was going to be your pick, but I am going to take my flex and I'm going to take Stephon Diggs.
Yep, I did
as my
have
flex
him.
wide receiver.
I
I
did
think
have
that
him as my receiver, but I
potentially,
I can pivot.
but yeah, I'm going to take Stephon Diggs. He's been getting targeted plenty by Drake May, and I think again Drake May's got a plus matchup too. So
yeah, I think we're all on the same page of just stack Patriots players against Cincinnati this week.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I'm going to go and take a stack of my own. It's a little weird one.
Actually, hold on. I think it's me.
Oh, is it you? It is
Since
you.
you have the
yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Sorry about that.
You're good.
Nope.
You're good.
Just trying to cheat. Keep me
that's
honest.
fair. I'm just I gotta catch you. So I got you. All right. So I was going to go Steph Diggs. I like that pick a lot. I'm going to pivot to my. I'm going to go wide receiver. I'm going to take Jameson Williams of the Lions. They have a home game against the Giants, who also can't stop anybody. So I like that a lot. So give me Jameson Williams. He had it seemed almost like he was the number one last week over Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting a lot of targets. So I think that he is ready to take the next step. So Jameson Williams.
I love it. Yeah. The Lions, they're playing the Giants. Let's feast. They should have a get right game there. JMO's been looking. He's getting a lot more volume in recent weeks too. So good pick. Trending in the right direction.
I just found out Gabe Davis is on the Bills again. When did that happen?
That was crazy. I thought he was still on the Jags or
when
something.
Did that happen? All right.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, Jay.
He's back. No, you're good. He's back. Okay. Is it? Yeah. Okay. You got Kenneth Walker, JMO Williams. All right. I'm going to do my stack. Interesting game for me to choose, but desperate times, desperate measures. The Cardinals are hosting the Jaguars. I'm going to take two Cardinals here. I'm going to take Jacoby Brissett as my quarterback, and I'm going to stack him with Michael Wilson. Marvin Harrison Jr., I believe, is going to be out again this week. Michael Wilson put up some big numbers last week. I think he's going to build off of that. There's just limited options. So we're getting a little deep in the season. It's not something I'm overly thrilled about, but hopefully the chips could fall where they need to fall for me this week, and with some lesser players, get lucky.
Yeah. Michael Wilson, by the way, last week had 18 targets, 15 catches, and I think 185 receiving yards. Is that right? Yeah. So
yeah, I picked him up in the Butt Buddy League, and I still got blown out of the water. So it's very telling how bad my team is there. But yeah.
Well, our fantasy leagues are tough.
It is.
I played Sam in the Dynasty League last week, and he was very beatable, and I lost by 100 points still because my team was absolutely terrible.
Yeah, he had
human effort, and I could not capitalize.
He had an off week for Sam in that league is like putting up 160 points.
Yeah. Yep. And I put up about 75. So it was not good.
I want to digress on one thing with the Arizona Cardinals, just because we don't talk about the Arizona Cardinals very much. I saw a stat earlier talking about Arizona Cardinals wide receivers. Trey McBride is the number one tight end in the league right now. Number two tight end is, I believe, Jake Ferguson. He is tight end 2 in stats. Jake Ferguson is closer to Kyle Pitts in fantasy points rankings, who is the number 18 tight end, than he is closer to Trey McBride as the tight end 1, which just shows you how crazy Trey McBride's season is. Not that I'm picking him because I can't, but just a big Arizona Cardinals fan right now for me.
Yeah.
And if we're talking Arizona Cardinal facts, Jacoby Brissett last week broke the NFL record for completions in a game with 47 completions.
Did he really?
Yeah.
He was 47 for 57.
Jesus.
That's insane for 452 yards. So,
well, let's repeat that this week. Missed him by 1 week.
Yeah. All right. Okay, enough Arizona Cardinals facts, I think, for one show. Probably for one season, to be honest with you.
Everybody gets their chance.
Yeah. I am going to flex. I'm going to go with a running back in my flex. I'm going to take Kyron Williams of the Rams. He's a good player. I like him. And I think that he will have a good game. They're playing against the Bucks, who are not great against the run. So Kyron Williams.
Yeah, I had Kyron written down as well. I think that's a good pick.
All right. I think I rounded out then.
Yes, sir.
I got to take a running back. He's questionable, but he crossed the century mark last week and plays who does he play? Suspect defense right now in Atlanta Falcons. I'm going to take Alvin Kamara.
All right.
Game that really means nothing to either of these teams, but Alvin Kamara seems to just show up in games like that. Those are the ones that like he turns into the 4 touchdown games for no reason.
It's very true. It's the Saints hosting Atlanta. It has all of the makings of either the worst game you're ever going to see or a Kamara freak show. Because why not?
Why not?
Stakes are low. I'm going to go nuts.
Yeah. Go nuts.
Yeah, go nuts, folks. Awesome. All right. Well, we'll lock those lineups in. Hopefully we can put up some more puns. If someone's going to break triple digits this week. I can feel it. So let's move into the dogs are hungry. We had a decent week. We went 2 for 3 last week. Season totals. I got back to 500 just because I missed a week. I'm 5-5. Nick, Drew, you guys are 5-6. This is the week where we all get above 500 or to 500. All right, 500 is a show. Above 500 is a show. So last week, I took Jags +3. They showed up and throttled the Chargers. And hats off to us. We all picked them in the 3-man weave too, which when we were doing that, we're like, what? How the hell did that happen? It was the right call. Nick, you also had kind of our collective lock between the two of us on the show, Bears +3.
Yep.
Drew, so damn close. The Washington wanted to cover and win that game, the Pooh game in Madrid. But they didn't. They lost in overtime, somehow pooped it away. And so that's why we lost that by a half of a point. So it's damn close.
Yeah.
Drew, you're the new father. You got the L last week. How about we start with you this week for your dogs in week 12?
Was hoping you didn't do that, but
yeah, well,
I'll get into it.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I was pretty mad at the way that game turned out in Spain because it looked like Mariota going to overtime. It looked like they could have pulled that off, and that would have been 3 in a row for dogs for me, and that rarely ever happens. So this week, just looking at the board, there's some games that stand out, some games that don't. Really, where I'm gonna lean is just probably a divisional game for that, and it's a sick game. It was the pick that I had for my running back. I'm gonna take the New Orleans Saints to cover the 3 right now. Or I'm sorry, no, I can't.
They're favorites.
They moved. It moved.
Game.
I saw that at the beginning.
Yeah.
The Falcons started at 3, but it's because Penix is out for season. Whoops. Okay. Can I pass really quick to one of you guys?
Absolutely. Let's go back to the research desk.
Yeah.
And we'll buy you some time. Yep. Drew so generously giving away his first pick to Nick. Nick, you're the next man up. Who you got?
All right. This one, there's a really good chance that I look back on Monday and think like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, obviously this was a bad pick. I'm taking the Colts +3.5 at Kansas City. 3.5. The half is doing a lot of work for me there. So I'm taking the Colts +3.5 with the hook. I don't know, man. This might just be the year the Chiefs are just not it, you know? And that Broncos game kind of made me think like that's a game the old Chiefs win every time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think so. Not a ton of logic, not a lot of stats into it, but I'm taking the Colts plus the 3.5 at Kansas City.
The 3.5 is big there, Nick. I actually had that. That was my silver mud. That was my second choice. And I hate that. Like that's the listen. You throw everything that I've been doing for the last 8 years betting wise out the door. The Chiefs at home. Yeah, and you either don't bet it or you sure as hell don't bet the other team because it's like that's an anxiety riddled cover is what that is.
Yeah.
But I like it. I like the 3.5. I think, all these games for the Chiefs now are must wins if they want to go into the playoffs. Like, they're out of the playoffs right now. They're 5-5. That's uncharted territory. But I agree with you. I think like the magic for this Chiefs team isn't there. The defense is fine, but the offense is like not what we're used to. It's something that's just missing. And the Colts are good. The Colts are good. They can run that football. And if they can establish a run game, like, see you later. Like, they can lose this game straight up. And if the Chiefs do win, I think it's going to be one of those last second field goal situations. So I couldn't agree more with what you said. I also couldn't agree more that, like, I hate the pick, but I love it,
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feel dirty.
Yeah, it's a dirty one.
Yeah.
That is against the playbook pick.
One.
Yeah.
Dirty dogs.
Dirty dogs. Well, I'm gonna stay on something that I think is a dumb pick, but I love it too. Like, this is, I guess that's the theme. My first overall one, and don't laugh at me too hard, but I think this might be the America's game of the week.
I think I know where you're going.
Yeah, Cowboys Eagles.
Yeah.
Cowboys +3. What the hell? Like, what? Why can't I get away from this Cowboys team? I don't know, but like, they could put up points and something. I feel like it's been 3 years in a row. Like, I just don't believe in the Eagles. Guess what, buddy? They won the Super Bowl last year, you fucking idiot. But I got to stay true to it. And for some reason in Dallas, I don't know, Quentin Williams being on the defensive line, like, I don't know. It
might be doing some things.
Divisional game. I'm cool with getting the 3 points. I think it'll be close. So give me Cowboys +3.
Yeah, I mean, Cowboys they lost by 4 in Philadelphia to start the season. So the Cowboys they can stick with this team, and that was on the road. So home against the Eagles. I mean, again, the Eagles keep winning games, but like, I don't think, aside from the Eagles, like, defensive line has been monsters since their acquisition. Nothing really jumps out at you on the Eagles team. Like, they struggle to move the ball. I mean, their defense is good, but their offense just is hard to watch. So I do think the Cowboys can score enough points to stay in this game.
And I appreciate that, Nick. Like, I'm with you 100% there, but like, it seems like the Eagles are winning despite Sirianni as their head coach. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like he's doing all of the wrong things, but they're still winning the games, and it's just weird.
Yeah.
So
when I was going back and looking at these, Jay, that was actually top one. So I'm glad you picked it, because it gets me away from picking that.
Yeah, right. But I'll take the bullet.
Well, no, I mean, the reasoning is the Eagles have played some dirty games. They're away. They are 4-1 away. Cowboys are still 2-1-1 at home. It's a divisional game. Like, anything can happen there, and there's so many weapons on Dallas that can show up at any time. They're not going to give up on games, at least from the offensive standpoint. Like, defense might give up at any point, but
yeah.
So glad you took that. That gives me an even dirtier pick than both of you both took.
I hope I don't know where you're going.
I think you know where I'm
going.
I think you know where I'm going.
No.
I don't want it.
This is the dirtiest game of the week, dude. And I'm taking the Cleveland Browns.
No. It's not where I thought you were going, but I still don't like that.
Okay.
Oh, no.
All right.
I mean, it'll be fine.
I'm taking the Browns. I mean, we've got a Raiders team that is awful. We've got Shador. Give me Shador to do. I mean, it's a 36.5 point over under.
Yeah.
And they're not, I mean, they're getting 4 points. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that a lot, where it could be a game that Quinshon Judkins controls the game. That's obviously going to be a game script with Shador in there. So, yeah, just give me that because all of these other, I wasn't going to take the Titans.
That's what I thought you were going to
That's where you thought I was going to go, the double digit.
The 13.5 point home dogs. I'm like, that's kind of got Drew's name written all over it. But okay, I'm glad you didn't take that.
I think the Seahawks could win. I will win that game by 30 plus points.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If you parlay all of our dog picks together, we actually got some juice this week, boys. We're at plus 620 on that.
Ooh,
so
I love it.
Ooh.
And Shador, we trust.
Yeah.
In Shador, we trust. Yes.
You know what, though? One thing on the betting side of things, too, one of the guys I used to follow on Twitter was like a Vegas shark, and he always had a thing. If you have more than a 3.5 or 3 point spread and the point total is under 40 points, take the dog. It means that you're just a turnover away from being able to cover. Like there's not enough points that are predicted to be scored to warrant a large spread. So I kind of dig it from that. We'll see what happens.
That makes sense to me. I like that logic too. I'm going to use that.
Will it to existence. Will it to existence.
Yeah.
Cool. 620 though. That's fun. Drew, I'm going to let you drive us through the overs of the week.
Okay. All right. I got problems, boys. I got problems. Yeah. My favorite, that it will always be my favorite of the week, of the year, whatever. I love overs. I'm always going to pick them. Probably why my betting sector has just been so poor this year. But at the same time, I told you guys last week when I texted you, I am just turning a leaf, and all I'm going to do is focus on the Chicago Bears. I'm going to focus on one Chicago Bears over of a week towards this section. I think I got robbed a little bit with Rome last week. He could have had some more catches that could have gotten me over 56.5. It's probably a bad thing to pick Bears wide receivers right now, just because the dispersion goes everywhere. Yeah. So right now I'm going to go to the other facet of the offense, and I'm going to go to the run game. I'm going to go to DeAndre Swift, but I'm going to compile that with his receiving yards, and I'm going to go his rushing and receiving over. Right now I've got 78.5 at a -114. So I think DeAndre, when he's healthy and when he's playing games, the script kind of runs through him from the run offense, and he catches a lot of things out of the backfield, at least 2 passes a game. So I'm going to go with DeAndre. So and his over rushing plus receiving there.
Sweet. And what was the number there, Drew?
78.5.
All right. I love rushing and receiving combo bets. It's like points, rebounds, assists in at the NBA. It's just just the best.
Player combos.
Sure. All right. Got it locked. 78.5. Nick, you want to take us through yours?
I do. I am this game. We just talked about this game. Jay, you said you thought the Seahawks were going to win by 30 plus. Seahawks at Titans over under is 39.5. I agree with you. I think the Seahawks could get to 40 points by themselves. So Seahawks at Titans 39.5. I am all over that. The Seahawks let me down last week, but they've been pretty profitable overs, at least for me this season. So I'm sticking with them.
Yeah, honestly, not out of the question for the first 4 possessions of the game for Seattle to put up 28 points and just put a hammer down. So 39.5. And the sad part is, will Tennessee score any points in the game?
They will not.
That's the downside, but Seattle can cover it by themselves.
The biggest thing I have to worry about is the Titans finding a way to score negative points and hurting my chances at some of the first negative points ever scored in a game. They're so bad.
If there was a team that could figure it out, it's that Tennessee team this year. So
they're so bad.
Cool, man. No, I missed that one. I didn't see them. Anything under 40 kind of, gets you scratching your head a little bit. And
yeah, especially, yes, under 40 points, it's definitely like a double take. Like, oh, that's interesting. Because I even double take the Raiders Browns game, which is 35.5.
Yeah,
I have no interest in that. But you see, they're under 40 points and elite offense as one of the teams. The line is saying that the Titans are going to score 25, 28 to 30 points, and the Titans are not going to score any points.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they can get to 40. And I also, I don't know, I like it. So I'm going to take my shot with the Titans again, or not the Titans, the Seahawks.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. The one that I think I wanted to talk about a little bit, and a couple of weeks ago, I took a over that had the Browns in it at 37.5. And that was kind of a, hey, this is funny. And it ended up hitting, but there was like a couple of defensive or special teams touchdowns. That's the only reason it hit. Drew, you said you saw it at 36.5. I saw it at 35.5. I don't think that line's low enough. I think you could push that one down to 32, and I still would stay away from the over there. So I'm going to stay away from that over. I'm not going to put us in jeopardy.
You could put that at 29.5. I might stay away from that.
No,
Yeah,
honestly,
this is like an Iowa-Wisconsin football game. Like, I'm just not
Yes.
interested in like any points in this game.
It's Quinshon Judkins versus Ashton Genty. That's what it is.
That is what it is. And
who can cross the 50 first?
That's truly it. I mean, can they get some, opportunistic defensive turnovers deep in the red zone, and then they may be able to put some points on the board? But we're staying away from that one, guys.
Yes, we are.
That is not on the table. What is on the table for me, I think this is going to be a fun game. I always love having a Bucks over. I think the number is very much alive. Yep. In Bucks Rams 49.5. For me, the key was under 50. You get a little scary in the 48, over 48, right? And you need 7 touchdowns, more than 7 touchdowns in that game. But I think we'll see some points in that game. I'm not as confident as I probably should be in the bet, but even though it is my 1 of 1, I can see some drives taking some long time and Kyron getting fed the ball. You just got to get in the end zone. But Matthew Stafford, Baker Mayfield keeps that number alive till the end of the game, in my opinion. So give me 49.5 Bucks at Rams.
Yep. And then the parlay for our overs is a little less juicy, but we're at plus 556 on that. So I will post these on probably Saturday night, Sunday morning. So go ahead and bet along with us. We're due for a win. We have a win this year, but we want to get a couple more. So
let's get the listeners some more. Let's get us some more.
I could use it.
I can't stress enough how bad that Thursday night football game was for Daddy's wallet. The Bills pooping their pants pooped, and me getting.
Hey, we I just walked out for a second, but we didn't touch on the fact that Jay is 8-2 in overs of the week. So listeners out there, if you're not trailing this guy right now, get on the train. Come on, ride the train.
Yeah.
The love train. The love train.
Yeah.
Coors Light, baby. Coors Light. Okay, sweet. We got some parlays. They're live. Join us. Lose with us. Lament with us. Let's go into the 3-man weave. We are all over 500 now, gentlemen. We finally did it. Drew, you've been on a tear. Speaking of props to where props are due, you are, over the last 2 weeks, 12-2. So congrats on that. That's awesome. You pulled off another great week, 5-2, but that wasn't good enough because Nick went 6-1 last week. So great picks, Nick. I went 3-4. Not the best, not the worst. It is what it is. I'm 35-34. Nick 40-36. Drew pulling away a little bit here, 43-33. So keep it hot, guys. I'm going to start us off with a fun game. There's a lot of spreads that were. And when I picked the 7 games for this week, there's a lot of spreads that were pretty big. I just wanted to pick some interesting games in here, ones that, listen, Minnesota at Green Bay. Green Bay is a 6-point favorite. I think there's merit in seeing if Green Bay is going to win that game or not. So, Drew, I'll toss it your way. Are you taking the chalk? Are you saying Green Bay is going to be right at home, or is this a game that they could let slip through their fingers in the division?
Yeah, I used to be high on Green Bay. I think what has turned me off in the last couple of weeks are what you guys love to hate on is Jordan Love's gameplay and the fact that if he doesn't have Josh Jacobs to spell that other side of the line, then it's going to be a question mark for the games. I don't trust JJ McCarthy. I do trust the Minnesota Vikings defense somewhat to keep them in the game, but yeah, I'm actually going to take the Vikings.
Okay.
Here, 1, because I want them to win. 2, because I do see Green Bay is getting a little weathered in some injuries, in some important injuries. Not to say Josh Jacobs is not ruled out to this game just yet, but Minnesota always plays Green Bay hard. Wherever it is, whether it's in Minnesota, whether it's in Green Bay, this is a game that I think could be a little bit sloppier to that we see in the North. And maybe it's a wishful thinking pick because I would love to see Green Bay lose this game and the North get a little bit further, like everybody get a little bit further away from the Bears. But I do think this is a game that Minnesota does play hard every time they play Green Bay. So that's why I'm taking them.
Cool. Yeah, makes sense. Checks out. Nick, are you with Drew, or you think Jordan Love's going to have one of those good games?
I'm taking the Packers in this game, but I do agree with a lot of what Drew said. I think this game is closer than a 6. Actually, it moved up to 6.5 points since this was since this afternoon. I do think it's going to be closer than that. I did have the Vikings as my number 2 pick for the dog section if my Colts pick got taken. So I do like the Vikings a little bit in this game, but in money line, I'm taking the Packers. I just what it comes down to is just, Jordan Love, I don't think is very good, but JJ McCarthy is bad. He's just a bad quarterback. And I just see a lot of Micah Parsons just all over JJ McCarthy in this game. So I'm going to take the Packers to win.
Yeah. Nick, you took both of the reasons why I couldn't agree with you more. I was actually going to say, I'm looking up Micah Parsons' stats right now. I was like, he's having somewhat of a quiet season on the sack front. Wrong. He's got 8 sacks, and that's quiet for Micah. And I think he's going to get at least 2 in this game. JJ was the sole reason why the Vikings lost to the Bears, in my opinion, last week. I mean, he just missed wide open shots to wide open receivers that were 10 yards long, 10 yards short. And I don't think the sledding is going to get any easier for him against that Green Bay defense. So
in Green Bay outside. Yeah.
In Green Bay outside. Yeah. So I'm going to take Green Bay, unfortunately, but I'm with you, Drew. I think obviously the hope is that the Vikings can keep it close and pull out the win, but I don't think they're going to be able to overcome.
Not to elongate and I'm not trying to flip anyone's opinions towards this. Something that I think that might promote a little bit more success for the Vikings in this game is JJ McCarthy taking off. He didn't take off.
Yeah, that's true.
He did not take off. Like if I'm Kevin O'Connell, I'm telling him it's a much better pass rush than the Bears had. So if you feel that pressure, take off and use your legs, use it effectively and go so that you can get plus yardage. And that could promote some success for the Vikings. I want, that's a want pick for me for sure.
Yeah.
Unleash 9.
I'm glad you brought that up, Nick, because I was going to say the same thing. You mentioned JJ McCarthy. I'm unfamiliar with such a name. I only refer to him as 9, the coolest nickname that anyone's ever given to themselves. So
it's up there. It's up there.
Jesus. Yeah. And that's another reason why I'm picking Green Bay. Lame ass nickname. We'll go to another game. Huge playoff.
It's actually not a nick, not to split hairs. It's not a nickname. It's his alter
ego. Yeah, thank you. Good point. Good point. Let's
gotta be accurate on this pod.
No, you're right. No, you gotta keep me in line. Let's go to Arrowhead. Indianapolis Colts, Chiefs. Nick, we'll start with you on this one. We were talking about them as your dog. Are you taking the Colts through and through here on the money line?
I am. I'm taking the Colts to win the game. Keep waiting for Daniel Jones to turn back into Daniel Jones, for the Colts to kind of turn back into the laughing stock. Colts have done nothing but just lead the world in rushing yards. Like, Jonathan Taylor is the best running back in the NFL this season. I don't know where the Chiefs stack in the NFL against the run, but I don't think they're great against the run. I see a lot of Jonathan Taylor just running an open field in this game. And the Chiefs, if they're off, they have Patrick Mahomes. They have some weapons on offense, so they could stay like this game. I'm not saying the Colts are going to dominate this game, but I just think that, honestly, I think that Jonathan Taylor is just going to rush all over him. So, Colts.
Cool.
That's it.
Easy peasy. I'll step in. I like the dog pick. I think the 3.5, that half point does a lot. Yeah. I think this is going to be a very close game, and I'm going to lean on the Chiefs here. I think it's a must win for them. I do think that they still cover. Like I said, I think it's going to be one of those last second field goals. Harrison Butker can tweet some weird stuff at the end of the game with a game winning kick, but I think it's just going to be a close one, and I'm going to side with the Chiefs because it's they have to win the game if they want to have a shot at making the playoffs. And it would just be weird for them to be under 500 at week 12. The gods it just seems like something would be off. So I'm going to take the money line with the Chiefs here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That makes sense.
I mean, there's still an avenue if the Chiefs lose this game to where they can get to the playoffs because they have Cowboys, Texans, Chargers, Titans, Broncos, Raiders. But this is a game that it's very, very, to me, very much Kansas City Chiefs of the last, seven plus years in the dynasty, that they just come out and win. And that's why I have to pick the Chiefs in Arrowhead. Patrick Mahomes seemingly when he has to win a game, will win a game. Love the Colts this season, and I love the way that Nick's thinking with this one, but I can't go against the Chiefs in Arrowhead when they need to win a game. It just seems that they always do.
Yeah. I mean, the game against the Broncos was in Denver, so that kind of, you said in Arrowhead, so that's right. But I don't know. Last week just felt like one of those games that, like, the Chiefs of old, they're going to win. They're going to make a run at the division, but they didn't. They lost. They lost a close game. I don't know. I just don't think the Chiefs have that like fourth quarter, like, killer instinct that they've had in previous years. So if this game's close, I mean, I'm not saying that the Colts are for sure going to win because the Colts haven't really proved anything either. But I just don't think that, like, in previous years, the Chiefs in a close game, you just say, okay, Chiefs are going to win this game, no doubt about it. I think it's a coin flip at this point now. I don't think they're that team anymore. So
that's fair. It is fair, and we'll see. I mean, I don't have a ton of confidence, right? I don't have a ton of confidence. It's pumpkin watch for Daniel Jones. Can he have another bad outing like he did against the Steelers? If not, and they can run everything through Jonathan Taylor, game over. So and it is that's what it is. Okay, let's go on to America's game of the week is wrong because I skipped over Cleveland in Vegas. So we're not going. That is not America's game of the week. That's got Adam Archuleta written all over it.
Spiro Dees. I was just going to say that, Jay. Yeah, Spiro Dees and Adam Archuleta have to have that game.
I think Adam Archuleta is like the home team announcer for the Browns this year. Every game is just going to funnel through them. So let's get there. Drew, let's start with you. They're your dog. Are they winning the game outright?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I love it. Let's go.
Yes, they are. I don't trust Geno Smith. I don't trust I don't trust the way more than I don't trust. It's not that I don't trust Ashton Genty. It's I don't trust the way that they're using Ashton Genty and leaning on him. Yes, we saw a lot in the Bears game to where Ashton Genty got leaned on and they had a script towards him. This team, the Las Vegas Raiders, doesn't know what's happening, and I wouldn't be surprised if they moved on from. What are you laughing at, Nick? Did I miss something?
No. It's just that the announcers in this game are Spiro Dedes and Adam
It is.
Archuleta. So, you guys are 100% spot on.
100%. I just don't trust the fact that there's anything going on in either of these teams. So I'm gonna pick the slot bull. I'm gonna pick the weird pick that the Cleveland Browns do win this game, and the fact that I think what's his name's getting fired at the end of this year, or he's just gonna step away. Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
We talked about it at the beginning of the year. Like, you're 2-8. Are you going to move on from this? You're not in a rebuild. What is happening there? It's so messy. This might be the last thing to fall, the last brick to fall that he just leaves too. So I'm picking Cleveland here.
Okay. Shador believer. Nick, are you in the same camp? This is an ugly one.
I am actually, and I'll tell you why. It's because the Browns offense has been, outside of Quinshad Judkins, an absolute joke of a unit all season, no matter who's playing quarterback for them. The Browns defense, conversely, has kept them in games and can actually play a little bit.
Yeah.
The Raiders offense is poo, and they can't do anything. So and the Raiders defense is not good. So, like, you look at the matchups, it's like, okay, the Raiders defense versus the Browns offense is going to be bad. But then you look at the Raiders offense versus the Browns defense, like, okay, the Raiders aren't going to be able to move the ball at all in this game. So the fact that you can pretty much count on the Raiders not being a real threat to score much, it just makes me think that if the Browns can like get some decent field position, kick some field goals, maybe like a defensive score or something like that, this game is going to be over. I have no faith in the Raiders offense in this game. They are so bad. Geno Smith is awful. They have no weapons except for Ashton Genty, who I think ran for 7 carries for 6 yards or something like that last year.
Yep.
Really, he averaged less than a yard a carry. He has in the NFL this year, he has the least amount of yards before contact. So what that means is that he's getting hit faster than any other running back in the NFL this season because the offensive line is so bad. The Raiders are awful. I agree with you guys. Pete Carroll's got to be like looking at this like, why the fuck did I do this?
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing here? Like, they're not. It's not even like some teams where it's like, okay, well, they have like the Titans have a young quarterback. Maybe they'll be something someday. The Raiders are so far away from being a good team. So anyway, all of that saying, I'm taking the Browns in this game.
Yeah, I mean it's alive. Don't get me wrong. So I love this. I loved putting this game on here because it's such a bad game. It's such a bad matchup.
Yeah.
I'm gonna zig to your guys' zag here. I'm gonna take Vegas. The oversimplification here is it's Shedeur Sanders as QB1. Maybe he gets another week of reps with the first unit and can make some things kind of stick together. I think Max Crosby is going to feast this game. I think Myles Garrett's going to feast too. Like, I think it's just going to be an absolute shit show offensively. Geno Smith, you're right. Poo. Shedeur Sanders, poo. So,
Geno Smith is absolute proven poo.
True.
Shedeur Sanders in the half of football he played or so, bad, but I don't know.
There might be upside, right? I think that's what you're.
Also, when I just want to point out that when I made my pick, I did not mention Shedeur Sanders' name once because I don't think he's gonna be a big factor in this game. I think it's gonna be which quarterback is gonna, fumble when he's sacked the most and give up the most defensive touchdowns is basically what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah, this should be a fun one to see on Red Zone for like not the offensive efficiency, but like the circus clown music going on when quarterbacks are just rolling around and losing the football. So
yeah,
okay, I'm gonna begrudgingly take Las Vegas and just pray, and we'll see what happens. But now we're gonna go to America's game of the week, 325, Philadelphia at Dallas. Nick, do me a favor here. I'm seeing on ESPN Dallas plus 3.5. I took him at plus 3, and I'm pretty sure we took him at plus 3 and got the juice in the parlay. So I just want to make sure I have that documented properly in our.
We got 3. We got
3. Okay, good. That's what I got written down in the dogs section. So Drew, we'll start with you. Is the dog alive in this one to win the game?
Man, as much as I would love to stick with the alliance that is the Chicago Bears and Philadelphia Eagles, I like Dallas here, Jay.
Wow.
I was telling you that I did like them getting points at home. I do like them at home, period. And I just don't see the offensive output that Philadelphia should have right now. And maybe that's just not going to come through this season. So I am going to take Dallas. I do think it's going to be a close game. Obviously, America's game of the week and a divisional game. They play each other hard every time they play them. But Dallas has an outside chance of making the playoffs. They really do. And this every game means something to Jerry for some reason. And they're going to get up. Schottenheimer is probably on the hot seat if he doesn't have a winning season. So this would be a big step in the right direction for them to win this game. And that's why I think they do.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna step in and keep it short and sweet. They're my dog. I think they're alive to win the game as well. George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb's a hell of a 1-2 combo. So I think points are going to go up on the board. But Nick, are you siding with us, or are you taking maybe a more reasonable approach and taking the favorite here?
I should, but I just don't see the Eagles scoring points. Like their offense is broken right now. Like it seems like everybody hates each other on the Eagles. Like every report is that everybody hates each other and nobody understands why they can't. The Eagles have been doing this thing for the past couple of years where they have a new offensive coordinator every year, whether it's somebody getting promoted somewhere else or bringing in a new guy who stinks and then bringing in a new guy who's good. It's just, and they're kind of in the phase of it right now where they have a guy that stinks who will be replaced next year. I'm thinking Cowboys, and this is my fourth dog pick so far, like money line, which is crazy, but I think the Cowboys are going to win this game.
Okay.
And I
Cool.
didn't think that until we were talking about them in dogs, and they kind of got me thinking. And now that's all I can think about. So
All right. Hey, none of us mentioned the fact that this could be a get right game for Philadelphia's offense against a guess who Matt Eberflus or
yeah,
an Eberflus defense. So we'll see. We'll
true.
see.
We'll see.
All right. This was kind of a throw-in game, and so my apologies that this is even on the list. This is not an exciting one. So with that said, Jacksonville at Arizona. Jacksonville is favorited in this game by 3 points. Nick, how about you kick us off? Who you got? Which way do you lean?
I should have known this was going to be the case when I wrote down 6 games for my dog of the week. I love the dogs this week.
Mm-hmm.
Just absolutely love the dogs this week. I'm taking the Cardinals. The Cardinals offense is, they're better with Brissett.
They are better though.
And the Jaguars are one of those teams who just, I cannot put them in the same boat as like the Panthers. I just cannot figure this team out. Right when I think they stink, they beat the shit out of the Chargers at home. It just seems like this is a game where they seem like a 1 step forward, 2 steps backwards team. So this seems like a game they're just going to go to and just get blown out. So I'm taking the Cardinals in this one.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's fair. It's odd, especially with Marvin Harrison Jr. out and who's the small guy? Who's their quarterback? Call of Duty. Kyler out. But I agree with you. I think their offense is better without Kyler in. But Drew, you tell us what your pick is.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be on your wavelength, Nick. I do think Arizona has put up some offensive numbers, but they haven't figured out how to win a game with this core right now. Plus, I can't say this enough. I hate Jonathan Gannon.
Yeah, me too.
That dude's horrible. I want him to lose a bunch of games. They're also 1-4 at home, and Jacksonville. To keep up in their division, they got to win. So that's mainly why I'm taking Jacksonville here.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I'm with you, Nick. I actually like Arizona on the money line here. I think that their home field advantage is non-existent. I just don't believe in this Jacksonville team. I don't believe in Trevor Lawrence. And that's it. I think their defense is actually pretty stout, especially against the run. I just think the chips fall in Arizona this week. But this is a game that I wouldn't mind not seeing any part of on Red Zone. To be honest with you,
flashes on Red Zone, but
nothing else. Yeah. Let's get into a more meaningful. Blood's kind of pumping. Everyone's a little bit more happier watching this game. We'll go to Sunday Night Football. Tampa Bay at LA at the Rams. I was a little bit surprised by the number at a full 7 points. I thought this was going to be more in the 4.5 to 6 range, but it's a full 7. The Rams are favored. If you guys are cool, I'm going to take this one first. I do like the Rams here. I'm going to keep it pretty simple. I think that it's going to be closer than a 7-point game. I think that there's a path for that, but I can't see the Rams not winning this game. Stafford, like you mentioned earlier, Drew, is kind of on an MVP pace, and I think that continues in this game. So give me the Rams. But Nick, I'll pass it over to you. I know you're a big Rams guy, but you're also a big Baker guy. I feel like this might be a little bit of a tough one. You've been on the dogs. Are you sticking with them?
Yeah, it seems like a lot of public money is on the Bucks to start because that line is down to 6.5 now.
Oh, okay.
But I think the Rams at home. I'm going to take the Rams at home because where I was a Baker guy before, again, can't stress enough, Matt Stafford future on MVP. That's kind of where I'm at right now. So I do think the Rams honestly are the best team in the NFC, and I think that they're going to win this game. So I'll take the Rams money line. I don't know if spread wise, I would probably if I had to pick, I'd probably take the Bucks plus 6.5 right now. But I like the Rams to win this game.
Okay. Okay. Drew, are you making it in unison here, or are you going the other way?
Yeah, it's a consensus here. The thing is, for me with the Rams, they want to, in my mind, they control their destiny for home field advantage here, and this is really, guys. You look at the rest of their schedule; they've got the next 2 games at the Panthers, at the Cardinals, Lions, Seahawks, Falcons, Cardinals, and you have a test here to kind of prove that you deserve home field advantage, and I think they'll do it on a Sunday night game. So yeah, there's nothing more than right now they look like the hottest team in the league, so you kind of just side with it and run with it.
I think that's a fair enough. I think we're on the same wavelength there. Keep it simple.
And the Bucks have not looked great the last few weeks too. They're
It's
kind
true.
of on like a little bit of a slide. So
That's true. Baker hasn't looked great. Looked great either. So, all right, let's get to our Bears. Nick, I'm gonna toss it your way. Drew, you can go after Nick, and then let's get it done.
yeah, I mean it's the Bears for me. Jay, you mentioned it, or we talked about at the top. The Steelers' defense is not good. They have given their bottom 5 in yards against. The Bears are top 5 in yards for. The Bears should be able to move the ball pretty well against the Steelers team. The question is, can the Bears put the ball in the end zone? That's always the question with the Bears team. So let's put the ball in the end zone, and let's, again, stay in front of the sticks. Let's keep, long, sustained drives, put the ball in the end zone. Yeah, I'll take the Bears all day in this game, though.
Excellent. Drew?
Yeah, it's a Soldier Field, 12 o'clock, where you like the way that the Bears turn out for this game. The things that kind of swayed you against it are Bears as a home favorite are 1-2 this season, but as an away dog, the Pittsburgh Steelers are 0-1. I can't pick against the Bears in this game for what they have going on this season. Once again, I'm just going to echo what Jay has said at the top of this. It's going to be a dirtier game. And the way that they have turned out for the Bears so far this season are positive. So I'm picking for a 2-0 stint in the NATO Potatoes lifetime.
Yes,
as a Bears
sir.
fan.
Good luck charm. NATO Potato. Let's go to 2-0, bud. Yeah, I'm with you guys. Let's go Bears. For the record, just this is a fan play where I'm not going to bet this game. I don't love the line. I don't love betting the Bears at negative juice on this on a money line. So I'm going to stay away from it. Drew, you said it. I said it. We all said it. I think it's going to be ugly. I think it's up for grabs game, but it'll be a fun one. Hopefully the Bears can get the W and we can all go 3-0 in this game. So.
I have one asterisk. I misspoke on the Bears being a home favorite. Home favorite, actually, they're 2-0. I was looking at the spread numbers.
Yeah,
they're home favorite. They're 2-0. As a favorite, they are 3-0 this season. So the stats promote the Bears here to win this game.
I was actually thinking about that. I'm like, wait, they only lost one game at home this year. So
call me out, Nick. Call me out because I was looking at spread versus money line. And
that makes sense.
Yeah, call me out.
I should have.
Good deal. Good deal. I wasn't even thinking about that. So good deal. Fact checking live. Got to do it. All right, guys. Closing thoughts. Drew, how about you lead us off on the closing thoughts? Round out the show.
Yeah, I'm going to pivot. I've talked enough about the firstborn. We do want to go 2-0 and want to see that in our Chicago Bears short lifespan for Nate. But I'm going to. So today, my brother-in-law, my sister and brother-in-law came over and they were helping us out with a few things. And we went over to Costco, had a big pickup because we haven't been able to shop for ourselves since my son's been alive. Good time. We ended up taking a stop over. There is a new local establishment in Lamont. It is called The Club, and it is a simulator bar for golf and just a full end just bar and food and extravaganza, and it's a walk from me. The cool thing is the owner is actually the owner of the place that Jenny and I had our wedding last May. They bought another building and they got this establishment up, and I ended up talking to him today, and we were talking about getting, winter leagues involved. And I said I'd help him out in anything that I possibly could do. Mainly what I'm trying to get at is, stay involved in leagues or golf or whatever you can in this winter, because season's over, and you gotta somehow keep that drive to play golf in this Illinois weather that we get. But yeah, wherever you can, find those simulator bars. Simulator bars are great. They're a great 2-hour takeaway, whether it's going for golf or going for a league or going for a football game or going for a league. Get into those, because those are fun. Those are good times where you can just lose yourself for a good 2 to 4 hours for sure.
Dude, love simulators. That's awesome. Always good to hear another one popping up. What did Game of Thrones turn into? Because it got rebranded, I think.
Yeah, got a rebrand
or something like that.
The Golf Zone, which was the technology that runs those simulators, I think bought it out because who knows, maybe it wasn't as successful. It's hard when you're running about 20 simulators and trying to have that much success. The overhead just gets over to you. But this one, I think, it's only 5 simulators right now, but full bar, full like kind of restaurant aspect. And Jay, I know you love the place down here, downtown Lamont. It's kind of right adjacent across the train line to Barrel and Vine. Nice. So it has a good sort of vibe to it down here.
Dude, downtown Lamont's awesome. I do love downtown Lamont, so that's awesome. Another good establishment there. So good to hear. Just I think what I would also recommend if you're joining a league, don't do what Drew and I have done in years past and get matched up against a team that wants to go and have victory shots every birdie that gets scored. Made that mistake one season and almost had to sleep over at a golf simulator. So yeah, that's good. That's a good one, Drew. Nick, how about you? What do you got for closing thoughts today?
Yeah, my closing thoughts. I'm actually going to go to an unusual place for this. I'm going to go to the college football realm. So, college football, we have, I think, 2 weeks in the regular season left. The college football playoff is kind of coming into form. And I just got to say that so I took a flyer. I took a future on 2 teams to make the playoff back in early October. I put money on Georgia Tech and University of Virginia to make the college football playoff, who at the time, Georgia Tech was plus 170 and Virginia was plus 650. I'm really hoping for Virginia at this point because that would be a sick payout. But the ACC is kind of getting fucked over here. The ACC is going to have 1 team get into the college football playoff, whereas the SEC is going to get like 6 and the Big Ten is going to get like 4 or 5. Georgia Tech and Virginia are both leading the ACC right now at 6-1. If they win out, they'll play in the college football or the ACC championship game, and that might not be enough. There's a good chance that the ACC champion doesn't get in because it's not an auto qualifier. So, long story short, I played this bet thinking that one of those 2 teams is probably going to win the ACC, so that'll get me an auto bid, and that might not necessarily be the case, and I'm pissed about it. So. That's my closing thought is if one of these teams wins the ACC and doesn't get in the playoffs, there will be hell to pay.
That's fair. Someone will pay, and it will be probably your wallet. No, that would be brutal. That'd be brutal.
So
all right,
we'll see.
Well, cool. I'm gonna stay in just the Chicago sports realm. I think it's okay for us to ask as Chicago sports fans if Chicago sports are back. We had the Cubs making it to the playoffs and winning a round in the playoffs, beating the Padres. 5. Yeah, right. We got the Blackhawks are in 4th place in the West right now. I know the season's early, but I mean, come on, let's have some fun with it.
I believe Connor Bedard leads the league in points too.
Right.
Yeah.
And the Bulls 8-6, having some good walk-off fun Stacey King calls. So like it's a fun time to have some hope and some optimism. If all of the seasons ended right now, all 3 of the teams that are playing right now would be in the playoffs. I don't think we've been able to say that in a snapshot in time in a very long time. We don't need to mention the Chicago White Sox. That's the soon to be Nashville White Sox. We won't have to worry about them. But it's like now I'm like, do I have to sign up for this damn Shizen, whatever the fuck, however the fuck you pronounce it, thing? We'll see. I'm gonna try to again. Nick, I think you and I were talking about it a couple weeks ago or last week. I'm still gonna just old man prove a point and not pay for it.
Yeah.
But hey, if the teams keep on winning, I might have my hand forced a little bit here.
Yeah.
399.95 to watch all teams.
Oh,
throughout the year.
Jesus.
So, don't worry. I did the free trial to watch Bulls games, and that was the proposal I got. And I said, you can promptly go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's absurdly priced. And that's really bad. So no, the answer there is no. I will not be doing that.
Yeah. Just going to catch the game. Just going to catch the highlights on Instagram and Twitter like I've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
The Bulls are the NBA version of the Bears right now. They're up, they find ways to blow leads, and then they pull off the wins. It's like a fun team to watch.
It's been refreshing getting those like Stacey King highlights though back in the reels and all that stuff, and hearing his little vooch, all that good shit. So
cool.
Fun.
One last cool thing on that, Jay. I wanted to go. Our QB1, Caleb Williams, did have a reel posted or retweeted or reposted a reel of Connor Bedard scoring a goal the other night, saying
nice.
Go off Connor Bedard, which was really cool to see Caleb seeing that. And like, it seems like the youth in Chicago sports are kind of all rooting for each other. And that's awesome.
That is awesome. You gotta love to see it. Well, good deal, guys. Hey, we'll leave on an optimistic note there for Chicago sports fans. Let's get some wins. Let's rack them up no matter what sport. Obviously, the Bears. But that'll do it for this episode of Barely Qualified. On behalf of Drew Bailey and Nick Lavris, I'm Jason Maxwell. Thanks so much, as always, for listening, and we will catch you on the flip side.
Thank you for listening to the Barely Qualified podcast. Like, comment, subscribe for more on a bi-weekly basis.